we've cut our fees significantly, by about half, a little more than half in some cases, by doing it not as much we do the workshop, right? You come to the workshop and then you decide, do I want to go forward with in a group setting? And the group setting is really very helpful because have you ever been in a group and somebody asked the question, you think, I never would have thought of that question, but I'm really glad somebody asked it. Well, you get a lot of that in the group sessions where people think of things that you think of on the way home, but fortunately somebody else already thought, or you do the same thing, right? I mean, you say something that sparks an interest in somebody else, but then in the group setting, you're there with a dozen other families, right? And we're going through it all together rather than just the one-on-one. And you can see that, I mean, as a matter of fact, this stuff works, but you're there with a bunch of other folks who are pretty much just like you, people who have worked and saved and done the good things. And now you want to make sure that it lasts as long as you do, and then that the leftovers get to your kids. Well, we can do that one-on-one. That's expensive. None of this is cheap. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying less than half. That's pretty good. Instead of doing the one-on-one, we do a workshop to say, okay, here's how this thing works. And then we start implementing. And again, every time we can do it in a group setting, that's what we do. Okay. So you fill in your workbook and there's a lot of one-on-one there. And then we do a 100% one-on-one when we review the documents, but then we do the signing again in a group meeting. And what happens is, instead of us trying to strike the balance where, how much time can you spend with an individual, you get a lot more attorney time in the group meeting. Okay. Because we're not repeating all the same stuff over and over and over again. We're doing it to the group, and then the questions come in, and then you get a lot more particular information, individual attention. You spend a lot more time with the professionals than you would otherwise, because we can afford to do it now. Okay. And and like I say, it's happened many times, many times where someone will say, oh, thank goodness so-and-so, I didn't think this was for me, but then Tom asked this question, or Jane asked this question, or whatever. And because they asked the question, then I saw how it worked in my situation. It really is a great way to do that process. And that's what we're doing now. You can always, if you have a business, assets over a certain amount, you might want to do the one-on-one. But for most folks, the group is the way to go.